Welcome. I want to talk to you today about getting ready to open up your office. There are some things that you want to consider when you're opening up your private practice. You want to consider what are your office procedures going to be like. And the best way to do that is to really imagine what's going to be the customer experience from the first time that they call you to the time that they come into your office, fill out the forms, and then have their first session. And to do that, we want to just kind of think it through. What are all the steps that are going to be needed? When they come to you, first they're going to either call you or they're going to send an email, and you have to get ready. What's your response when you get your first phone call? What's your response when you get your first email? How much information do you want to exchange for your phone call or email versus in person? So you want to work through some of that and work through what some of the questions that your clients might have and what are some of the best answers to engage so that they know that they're getting a therapist that fits their needs and that you know that you're getting someone whom you are equipped to work with. And so you want to be able to just begin to role play that, think it through, and get yourself ready for what your responses are going to be when it comes to having your first client. Then when they come to your office, you want to consider, okay, what is the office environment going to look like? Where are my chairs going to be? What kind of music am I going to have playing in my lobby or in my office? What's the feel of the office? Is it going to feel contemporary? Is it going to feel very warm and kind of, reminding you of a peaceful vacation experience? Or is it going to look a little bit more just very clean, very minimalist in style? You want to consider what are your clients going to expect? What's the environment that you want to set for your type of therapy? What's the best way to make them feel comfortable, to make them feel safe, and really to focus on what they came for, which is to really talk about the issues that they're struggling with and to begin to work through that. And you want an environment that promotes it. You also want an environment that gets them to just feel as if they're in a different place. So you don't want your office to be cluttered or crowded or too distracting. You want to pick the office colors that are going to be the most soothing, but also very reflective of the style and the difference that you bring in your private practice. So consider from the very first moment your client walks in there, what are the images that they're going to see? What are the smells that they're going to have? Some people like to have scents. Some people don't have scents because they're concerned about allergies, or just they prefer not to have certain types of scents in their office. You want to think about the customer experience, right? So when they come in, are you going to offer water? Are you going to offer coffee? Are you going to offer something to just help them kind of forget what they came in with and then settle in and then begin to work through the issue that they're coming to see you about? So you want your office to be comfortable, inviting, and definitely geared for your clients, but also comfortable for you because you're going to spend quite a bit of time in that office. And you want to make sure that when you're there, you also enjoy it, that the message that you get is, yes, I'm doing the thing that I've always wanted to do. I'm living my dream. I have my practice and I'm comfortable and I'm happy and I'm ready to give my very best to all of my potential clients. And so the environment matters for your clients, but it also matters for you. And you want to have the best blend of both. You also want to think through what are the paperwork that they're going to sign? Where am I going to have this paperwork located? How can I make it so that when the paperwork is completed, that it's a quick and fast process? Maybe you offer it on your website before they come to see you and they have time to print it out, complete the paperwork, or do it online and submit it to right to your practice email or your practice inbox so that they can have that out of the way prior to coming. And then if you're collecting co-pays, if you're collecting for the insurance purposes, copies of proof of ID, you want to make sure that you have a copy machine. You want to make sure that you have everything so that it's quick to copy the IDs and it's quick to also collect the co-pays, that the difference between the time they walk in the door and the time they see you is as short as possible so that way they can get the most out of their session with you. And so when you think about your office practices and procedures, you want to make sure that all those practices and procedures are geared towards your client having a great experience. And then even think about when the session's ending. How do you want to end your session? What's the takeaway that you want them to leave the office with? Are you going to give them homework? Are you going to give them something to read? Is there going to be something that leads into the next session? Because you also want to forget that each session is not just about that session, but it's about the process that you are leading your client through. And so you want to make sure that they're prepared for when they're going to have the next session. So on your side, you have to make sure that your calendar is out, that you're aware of your times and your dates. And if you have somebody helping you, like a receptionist or a secretary, they are also aware of your time and your dates. And so that way the client can quickly decide when the next session is going to be based on their availability and your availability. And you can secure that before they leave. A good rule of practice is to make sure that when that client has the next appointment time, that you either give it to them on a card or a printout for their next appointment, or you have the client right then and there put it into their calendar so there's no chances of missed appointments. You want to reduce the friction as much as possible between the time that they come to the first appointment to the next appointment. You want to make it easy, smooth, comforting, and just something that they look forward to, because they're coming in with so much. So why not make things as easy as possible? Why not make your visit the happiest appointment that they have out of all their appointments? You don't want your appointment to be considered like going to the dentist, like, oh no, not that again, right? So the best way to do that is to provide the best client experience possible, considering sight, sound, smell, quick and ease of moving in and moving through the appointment, and then closing it and having the next appointment. So do what a lot of the great businesses do and see yourself as a client coming in, and imagine, is this, what are the quick messages you get from walking in? And then, of course, ask some of your friends to come into your office and to go through the experience as if they were going to be a client, and to give you feedback on how easy or difficult it was to go through that process, whether it's the call or the email, or actually just coming into the office and experiencing your office as a walkthrough. What is the feeling that they get? What are the things that their eyes move to? What's the thing that they wish was there that's not there? Give yourself an opportunity to take feedback, to learn from others, and to provide the best client experience possible. So thank you for joining me. My name is Gessy Martinez, author, therapist, and coach, helping you to live your private practice dream, to see it come alive, to serve those who are waiting for you. Thank you so much. Till next time.